Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nisser Ali, and today we are not only revising Greek political philosophy, but we are also connecting it with the present political situation of Pakistan. This is not just theory, this is about how political ideas shape real societies. Greek concept of the state versus Pakistan today, extended analysis. The Greeks believed that the state was central to human life, not merely as an administrative mechanism, but as a moral and ethical framework within which human beings could achieve their highest potential. For them, the city-state, the polis, was the natural and necessary condition of civilized life. Aristotle clearly stated that man is a political animal, meaning that outside the state, a person could not fully realize his intellectual, moral, and social capacities. Thus, the Greek state was not created simply to maintain law and order, but to produce good citizens and cultivate virtue, justice, and harmony. In this sense, the Greek city-state was both a political institution and a moral community. In contrast, in present-day Pakistan, the state is largely perceived as a power structure rather than a moral institution. For many citizens, the state represents authority, control, taxation, and coercion, not ethical guidance or collective moral purpose. This perception has historical roots. Pakistan inherited a colonial administrative system where the state existed primarily to govern and control, not to morally educate or politically empower the masses. As a result, the relationship between the citizen and the state remained distant and hierarchical rather than participatory, where the Greek citizen felt that the state belonged to him. The Pakistani citizen often feels that the state stands above him. The fundamental question asked by Greek political thought was, how can the state make citizens virtuous, disciplined, and just? Plato believed that the purpose of the state was to ensure justice by placing every individual in a role suited to his moral and intellectual capacity. Education, law, and political participation were all designed to shape character. Aristotle went even further by arguing that a bad constitution produces bad citizens, and a good constitution produces good citizens. Thus, morality and politics were inseparable. In Pakistan, however, political discourse often revolves around a very different question. How can power be acquired, managed, and retained? Politics is frequently reduced to electoral competition, personal loyalty, party survival, and control over institutions. The ethical purpose of the state, character building, civic responsibility, moral leadership, is rarely central to political debate. This shift has serious consequences. When power becomes the primary goal, institutions weaken, laws become selective, and public trust erodes. This difference in political philosophy also explains the contrast in political participation. In ancient Greece, participation in public affairs was considered a moral duty. A citizen who avoided politics was not admired for being neutral. He was criticized for being irresponsible. Pericles famously remarked that a man who took no interest in public affairs was not harmless, but useless. This reflected a society where citizenship meant active involvement, not passive obedience. In Pakistan today, political participation is often seen as risky, exhausting, divisive, or even dangerous. Many educated citizens prefer disengagement, believing that politics is corrupt, futile, or morally degrading. This withdrawal further weakens democratic culture and leaves political space to narrow interest groups. Thus, politics becomes the domain of professional power seekers, rather than responsible citizens. Another critical difference lies in the relationship between individual and state. Greek philosophy subordinated the individual to the collective good of the city-state. But this subordination was not oppressive. The state demanded loyalty, but in return it offered identity, participation, and moral purpose. In Pakistan, the state demands obedience and loyalty, but often fails to provide justice, equality before law, or meaningful participation. As a result, loyalty to the state weakens, and alternative identities, ethnic, sectarian, or personal, become stronger. Concluding thought for this segment, the Greek concept of the state reminds us that politics is not merely about power, but about character, purpose, and collective moral life. Pakistan does not need to replicate the Greek city-state. History and context are different. However, it can learn one essential lesson. A state that ignores moral purpose and civic education eventually loses the trust and participation of its citizens. Without restoring the idea of politics as public service and moral responsibility, democracy remains procedural, and the state remains distant.